Hey there everyone, GameFox here, and welcome to something that's a little bit different. I am a part of a stream team called the TaterSquad, and they're a really awesome group of people that are about supporting other streamers, and it's a small group, but if you want to know more, you can head on over to my Twitch channel and click the little logo that I have in my panels, or you can check the description below in order to find out a little bit more about what they do. One of the things the team leader has asked of me is to actually help provide information on how to use basic tools to get started with streaming. As you can see here, I am currently using OBS Studio. My regular streaming platform is Streamlabs OBS, which is something I can cover in another video if you like. However, we're going to go ahead and start with OBS Studio, given that it is probably one of the most common streaming programs at the moment. As you can see right now, we have a completely blank slate. The entire purpose of this video is just to show you some basic settings that you're going to want to keep in mind when you start streaming. This may seem a little bit intimidating at first, but I'm going to cover all of the basics. First things first, your windows may not look the same as mine. I've chosen a different theme, which is under Dark. That can be found under the General tab. It's up to you whether you'd like to choose Dark, Ochre, the default white, or Rockney. I personally prefer the dark. It's a little bit easier on the eyes, especially when you have to stare at a computer screen most of the day. One of the first things you're going to want to do is actually connect your Twitch account. There are two ways that you can do this. As of right now, you can actually pick between which streaming service you would like by default. It's a new feature that OBS Studio has actually introduced within the last couple of days. You can also use a stream key, but with this new feature, it is so much easier to connect your Twitch, your YouTube, your Smashcast, your Mixer, Facebook Live, or anything else you might be using. Let me disconnect my account so I can show you exactly how it works. We're just going to hit connect account. It will prompt you to log into your Twitch account or whichever other streaming platform you might be using. If you are a Twitch affiliate, it will ask you to use your two-factor authentication by using either Authy or another authorization service. Once you've done that, it'll connect your Twitch account. Everything is automatically set in place. I would not recommend changing your server settings because it will automatically detect your region. That is the simplest way to connect to your Twitch account. When you hit apply and OK, it will automatically come up with two windows. One is your chat, another is your stream information. The stream information window is the same information that you will be entering on your dashboard in order to change your title, your category, and your tags. You can update all of that from OBS. Now you can also integrate these directly into OBS by sliding them to different parts of the screen, as you can see me doing here. However, this is going to be a very simple tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and close these boxes so you have a better view of the screen. Back in the settings window, let's go ahead and switch to output. Output is actually very simple to set up. This is the default mode for OBS to show you what your settings are. A more precise way to take care of your settings is to switch your output mode from simple to advanced. There are a couple of things here that may seem a bit confusing. First of all is encoder. Encoder simply means that it's the process of taking what you are capturing and converting it to a file that can be transmitted live. There are a couple of options. Currently, I have available to me the X264, QuickSync H.264, NVIDIA NVENC H.264, and the new NVIDIA NVENC H.264, the new version. The new version is what I would recommend. If you are using the most recent version of OBS, which is 23.0.1, it has this feature, especially if you have a NVIDIA graphics card. If you do not have this option, I will go over options for X264 a little bit later. But for right now, we're going to focus on this as it is the most optimized encoder for this system. One of the other things to consider is your rate control. You have CBR, CQP, VBR, and lossless. CBR stands for constant bitrate. VBR stands for variable bitrate. The only two that you should concern yourself with are CBR and VBR. Lossless will cause your computer to bog down if your processor isn't up to par. We're going to use CBR because it means constant. Your bitrate will constantly remain at the quality you set it to. Now, to cover bitrate. Bitrate discusses the rate at which your computer can transmit its information, i.e. bits, to the streaming service. The best thing to do is find out what your internet speed is. If your upload speed is 30 megabits per second, then you could potentially stream at a 3000 bitrate. I do not recommend this because Twitch's server space is allocated to partners. Partners get priority. If you are a non-partner, it would be better if you set your bitrate to roughly around 2000. That'll ensure that you have a pretty even stream with less loss of quality. If your computer can handle it, I would suggest setting your keyframe interval to 2. This means that your computer will be working its hardest to make sure that it has this keyframe interval. However, if you feel as though your processor is not up to par with that, I would leave it at 0, so that way OBS can track it for you. Twitch has a preset that makes it so that way 2 would be preferred, but if you're experiencing lag from heavy game graphics, setting it to 0 will allow OBS to prioritize things properly. Next is preset. Under preset, you will see max quality, quality, performance, low latency quality, and low latency performance. To explain, max quality and quality cover just that, the quality of your stream and how it looks to your viewers. Performance and max performance cover just how strongly OBS will affect your processor and other components within your computer. Low latency means the amount of time it takes for your stream to get to your viewers and how quickly they can respond to you. The lower your latency, more likely you are to be able to respond to them in real time. Depending on what your specs are, I would suggest leaving your preset to quality. That would mean that you are trying to produce as good a quality as you can without bogging down your computer. However, if you experience issues, I would suggest using max performance. Low latency quality, and low latency performance may cause more bogged down issues. However, if you feel as though your computer can handle it, I would also suggest low latency performance. For now, I'm going to leave mine at quality. For your profile, you should set it to main. Twitch's profile recommends main. If you change it to high, it will try to control the quality of your stream beyond your presets. If you set it to baseline, you may experience some aliasing in the image. Setting it to main will make sure that it translates to Twitch perfectly. From here, you don't need to worry about anything else. If you are using the X264 encoder, your screen will look a little different. You should still consider setting your rate control to CBR and a bitrate of 2000. Your keyframe interval, again, should remain at 0 just to make sure that you're not putting too much strain on your computer. The CPU usage preset is something that you should notice that is very different to the X264 encoder versus the NVIDIA NVENCH encoder. I would suggest leaving your CPU speed at very fast. The higher you are on this list, the less CPU will be used. If you were to go lower in this list, you would potentially get a better quality image, however you will experience frame drops because your encoder is having to work harder. If you leave it at very fast, the likelihood of having frame drops is very low. If you experience frame drops still, change to super fast and ultra fast depending on your needs. Again, your profile should be main. Do not worry about tune as there are no presets for that on Twitch. You should not have to worry about any external options for the X264. Next, we're going to cover audio. Your audio settings should be set to whatever your microphone's default is. To find this, you can go to Manage Audio Devices from your start bar, go to Recording, look for your microphone. Mine is the Blue Yeti microphone. I'm going to double click here, go to Advanced, and look to see what the default format is. My microphone records at a 2-channel 16-bit 44,100 Hz, which is CD quality. Potentially, I could increase this, however, I do not find it necessary. Once you've determined what your microphone settings are, you can close Manage Audio Settings. Make sure that your sample rate reflects the 44.1 kHz or the 48 kHz, depending on your microphone's default settings. For your desktop audio, I do not recommend using default if you are using headphones. This could cause some issues with desyncing in your audio. The same should be said for your mic and auxiliary audio device. If you have your microphone set to default, it could potentially capture the microphone from your face cam or from any other microphone type device that you have plugged into your computer. As you can see, I have a few that are plugged in here. My Elgato actually counts as a microphone device. Make sure that you have it set to whatever your microphone is and you're good to go. The next thing we're going to focus on is video. Your base canvas resolution, if you want to stream at 1080p, should be 1920 by 1080. However, if you would like to stream at 720p, you can do so by putting 1280 by 720. If your base canvas is at 1920 by 1080, you do not want to scale down your output resolution. Some people have said that this allows you to have a better chance at more server space on Twitch. This is not true. Twitch will prioritize their partners and then their affiliates and then their non-affiliates. If you do end up having to use a downscale filter, make sure that your downscale filter is at 32 samples. This will allow for the best quality in your downscale. If you are experiencing some issues with lag, you can change it to bilinear, which will make your screen blurry, but it will make it so that you will have less frame drops. For partners, Twitch allows 60 frames per second, and if there is server space available, they will also allow affiliates and non-partners to use this as well. However, most of the time, you'll want to stream at 30 frames per second because it may also, again, bog down your computer. I recommend leaving it at 30 frames per second so you don't have to worry too much about your computer's ability to process. Once you're done with that, hit apply, click OK, and you'll be ready to start setting up your overlay and your scenes as you like. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you want to get started on streaming, it's not as hard as you might think. Just make sure you check your specs, your settings reflect what your computer specs can actually handle, and that you set things up properly. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a comment, leave a like. I'd certainly appreciate it because it lets me know how I'm doing. Don't forget to subscribe for more fun content. And other than that, you guys take luck and care, and have a wonderful day.